right, now it's time for the case of the airline explosion, problem 17.6. On December 21st, 1988, a bomb was smuggled onto an international flight from Frankfurt, Germany to New York City. The flight carried 259 passengers, many of them students returning to the United States from a European trip, along with a crew of 11. The bomb exploded over Lockerbie, Scotland, killing everyone on board. The bombers were later identified as being from Libya. That's all we get. Here we go. First question A. Could the families of those who died in the explosion bring a class action? Explain your answer. Hopefully, remember, class action is grouping a bunch of plaintiffs into one suit. Handle them all at once. All right. Who are the possible defendants in this case? Take your time on this. Try to list as many as possible. Which defendant, if any of them, should be held liable for the deaths? Of the defendants that you just talked about, which one should be held liable, responsible for the deaths? Again, it was 259. 11 of them were the crew. All right. D. How much should the families receive in damages for the wrongful death of a loved one? Explain. Remember, damages is money awarded for the wrongdoing. Could the families of those who died... Here we go. Back. Let's do the answers now. All right. Back to the first question. Of course they can. This is textbook class action litigation. You have a bunch of plaintiffs receiving the same damage. I mean, they died. So, of course, they can do that. This is an appropriate place for a class action. Otherwise, you're going to have 259 individual suits, and they pretty much will go the way of the first one. Okay. So, pretty quick question on that one. All right, possible defendants. This gets tricky. I don't know how creative you got. See how many of these you got. I got them listed here. The terrorists who smuggled the bomb on board. The sponsoring terrorist organization who those terrorists work for. The commercial airline itself for allowing the terrorists with the bomb to get on the plane. How about, did you write down the airplane manufacturer for a potentially faulty design? And how about the owner-operator of the airport in Frankfurt, Germany, who is responsible for security checkpoints, checking in? How did they get a bomb through the airport? All right. What type of bomb was it? All those type of questions. Did they find any fragments of the bomb? All that. All right. Which defendant, if any, should be liable for the deaths? How do you file a lawsuit against a terrorist organization and get them to pay your families a bunch of money? If you know, leave it in the comments below. All right. Well, the determination on who would be liable for the deaths probably would come from the airplane manufacturer itself. Thank you so much. I'm filming a video. I'm not crazy. All right, I got my health passes. Sweet. It's probably going to be the commercial airline. The airline itself and the airline, the airport, who is responsible for security, right? How did they get, or perhaps what if the system they went through was not a good design? What if they're like, hey, buy this airport security system, everyone's safe once they walk through here? Did the bags get scanned through something and they missed a dang bomb? So those are possibly the airline and possibly the security system at the airline, which is probably the airport. Okay. All right, now, what do you guys think on this? How much? Did anyone put a dollar value on the lives of the individuals on the plane? 259 passengers, most of them students returning to the U.S., got crew members, you got how much is a pilot's life worth. Do you do a blanket value? Everyone gets a certain amount, or are some people worth more than others? Ugh. All right. That's up to you on that one. I'm not going to answer that question. But if you explain it well, that's how you get good points. All right. Until next time.